Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's going on, good people? What's going on out there in the world? Tonight is Wednesday, August the 12th, 2020, and I am excited to bring you this night's edition of Dialogues with Doc. So, Dialogues with Doc is about to kick this thing off for tonight. I'm so excited because last week was my very first time doing this. There were definitely some bumps in the road. I worked through them. I then did a couple more things here and there to fix whatever was messed up. So I'm excited to work this thing out tonight. So thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight. I want to do a quick check in to see where everybody is from. I see Stefan in the building. What's going on, man? Check in for me. Tell me where you guys are watching from. Stefan says, "What up?" He's ready. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you so much, man. If you're out there, go ahead and type in the chat for me where you're watching from. Maurice, I see you. NYC, what's going on, Mo? Mo, the chef in the building. I see you. I see you. Khalif, my good brother in Philly, Mr. U Gospel himself. I see you. Of course, my girl Leslie always supports me. She gave me a nice little pep talk last week uh, to get myself together. I'm so excited. Grand Prairie's in the building. Grand Prairie's in the building now. Everybody, do me a favor. Please be nice to me tonight. I have an amazing special guest in the room. I'm so nervous right now. I'm shaking in my boots. But y'all, my mama's in the room. Shout out to my mama Barbara is in the room from Dallas, Texas. She's in the building. So please be nice to me tonight because my mama's watching. So mama, I love you. Mama, I made it. Mama, I'm gonna do this thing to the best of my ability, and I so love you and appreciate you for joining me on tonight. So, guys, listen up. Tonight, I want to say that last week was amazing. We had an amazing show last week. We talked about the importance of your dash. We talked about the importance of your dash. So, if you missed last week's show, we talked about your birth date and your end date, and the dash in between is what matters the most and has the most significance. And what you do with your dash determines your power, determines your outcome, helps to determine your destiny, and all of that good stuff. So last week was amazing. We had an awesome dynamic conversation about that. I'm so excited to be bringing this thing back to you guys again on this week. So this week we are talking about the power of social media. I'm sorry, let me go back because we're talking about the dash. I'm sorry, I'm need to pace myself. Talking about this dash. So last night I was crying. I don't know who else was crying. This isn't really a current event, but it's current for me. So the good bishop on Greenleaf last night passed away. So we talked about the birthday and the end date. It kind of took me back last night to last week's topic because that dash, the bishop died. You watched all 5 seasons. You know the deal from the beginning to the end. I loved how the show ended like it started with Grace driving up to the house. Lady May told her, don't come sow discord. The show ended last night. Lady May said, thank you for coming to sow discord. And Grace rolled up out the gate. So shout out to Greenleaf. That's my shameless plug for the show. If you haven't watched it, amazing. I loved it. Back to this week's topic. I'm sorry. The power of social media. So the power of social media is awesome. It's an awesome topic that I wanted to bring to the table this week. Well, not the red table, that's Jada, to just bring to the table that we had this evening to discuss about the power of social media. And so it's amazing that this one thing that so many of us are so caught up in guides our lives and has so much power. I see my cousin Fallon in the building. Hey, cousin Adrian, I see you. Calvin Whitaker, thank you for joining, man. So I wanted to talk about the power of social media on tonight. So of course, anytime you do a show like this, you are required to do your research, do your homework and things like that. So I really wanted to dig into this social media thing once again, just to see if there were some things out there that I may not have known. So for tonight's dialogue activator, do me a favor. In the comments section, drop the very first social media site you ever recall using. So drop in the chat at the bottom. Think back to the very first social media site that you ever used. And I want to see what we come up with, okay? some of us may date ourselves. I know I would probably date myself when I tell you the very first one that I remember using, because it's been a minute. But I'll definitely tell you when we get to sharing. So Maurice says Skonex. I've never heard of that one. Maurice, you have to send me a message and tell me about that one. The Skonex is one that I need to do some more research on. Leslie said Chai Tribbett message board. Oh my God, I remember the message boards back in the day. Yeah, y'all taking me back. Who else out there? So I got Skonex, I got the Chai Tribbett message boards. Anybody else out there? What was the first social media site you ever recall using? The first social media site you ever recall using? Yeah, John, yes, the first one, the very first one that you remember using, WBSandGo.com. I see you. Yes, the first one. So I'm gonna date myself. I'm not sure who remembers these, but the very first social media site I recall using was when I was a freshman in the fall of 1998 at the University of Houston. Social media wasn't as big as it is now, but everybody was getting on it. You get on social media in between class. So who remembers collegeclub.com? Stefan, yes, Yahoo Chat is a thing. That is a social media site. But who remembers collegeclub.com? The one where you had to have a college email address to be able to use. Who remembers blackplanet.com? Remember blackplanet.com? That was like our Facebook for us back in the day when we were in college. So Facebook, I remember using collegeclub.com. I remember using blackplanet.com. My cousin Fallon even took it back, said, is Thomas her friend still? MySpace was big back in the day. So these are all different types of social media outlets that have just grown. So think about some of the ones that you shouted out back then and think about what social media is actually now. Yes, Black Planet. I was Petulant 06 was my Black Planet name. It was my line name, and 06 because I'm in the frat. So Petulant 06 was my Black Planet name. I probably still have a Black Planet page, just like some of you guys, honestly, and we just forgot it was out there. So I wanted to start the conversation off tonight talking about social media. What was the first one that we used that any of us can ever recall using? So what I also did was did a little bit more digging because I wanted to kind of see what social media actually encompassed. So when I looked it up, it said, websites and apps that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So, we've always known it to be the way we keep up with people, the way we keep up or find family members or friends or people that we went to school with or went to college with. So that's one of the ways that we keep up with people. And then I also did a little bit more digging and found that I'm not sure who else knew this. There are 4 types of social media. I had no idea that there were 4 types of social media, which are social networking, microblogging, photo sharing, and video sharing. So social networking, what we're doing now, Facebook, microblogging is like your Twitters and I'm sorry, social networking is like your hold on, because I want to make sure I say it right and don't misquote nothing. Let me go to my notes real quick, because I got it. Social networking like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Google Plus, microblogging, your Twitters, your Tumblrs, photo sharings, your Instagrams, your Snapchats, your Pinterest, and of course, video sharings like your YouTubes, your Facebook Lives, your things like that. So I had no idea that social media had so many different forms and different versions of it that are all encompassed in the 4. So I was like, man, this is like pretty dope. I really had no idea that all of that was out there with regard to social media. And so what I wanted to do tonight was talk about the power of it. The power of social media. It can be a very powerful thing. I actually wanted to do this thing the right way. So I actually invited a special guest onto the show with me tonight to talk about the power of social media. Social media can be very powerful no matter who you are. And I just wanted to bring a fresh perspective on this thing. So if everyone will allow me to introduce my special guest, my brother from another mother, the one and only JP Moore. JP, welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you, man. Man, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the room the one and only JP Moore. So,
What's
my
up?
brother's in the building. It's so good to have you, man. And I appreciate you going on this journey with me tonight. So, JP, so far we've talked about, I did an activator tonight and basically asked everyone what was the very first social media site they recall using. So, I saw StoneX, I saw the Thai Tribute message boards, I saw, a WBSGo.com, the Yahoo chats. I even threw mine out there. I don't know if you remember collegeclub.com, blackplanet.com,
Black
Facebook.
Planet.
When you only Black Planet. Shoot, I can see my list.
Yeah.
And even remember when Facebook, you even had to have an email, a college email, to be on Facebook when it first started. Remember, you couldn't get on Facebook if you didn't have a .edu at the end of your email address. They would not let you in. There was no room at the end. You couldn't come to the party, and we wouldn't even be in the type of space that we have now if that wasn't the case. So before we dive deeper into the conversation, my brother is here. You know what? Just gonna tell the people a little bit more about you, man. Who is JP Moore? And tell me. Let's jump on in this thing and just a little bit about you, what you do, all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a part. I'm excited about what you're creating, what you're building here. So thank you for sharing your platform with the brother. I am JP Moore. I hail from Oceanside, California, is where I was born and raised, on the West Coast, where I spent most of my days now.
West Coast.
No,
Fresh Prince.
And yeah, a PK. Father was a preacher, so grew up in church, and went from there to Clark Atlanta University out here in Georgia, and got my feet wet for a little bit, and then went back to Cali and attended Mesa College. And from there, I was working in retail, branched off, and started working at an Izod store in Cali, and worked my way up through the ranks into Izod Corporate that moved me to Jersey. And I was branding 130 stores across the nation for about 7 years, working with them.
Wow.
And branched off from there to start JP Designs Art. We're here in my space now, and I am the creator and chief of JP Designs Art. I brand churches, ministries, artists, small businesses, nonprofits. Launched a couple extensions of my brand, which is like Love All You Can While You Can, Work Hop ATL, Black Designers Matter. So there's a few different extensions there. I am also a member of the Vision Cathedral Church of Atlanta, where my bishop is Bishop O.C. Allen. That's
Bishop Allen.
I do all things creative, man.
So you do all things creative. So this creative architect just has. When you call yourself a creative architect, what made you come up with that title? Because you could have easily said, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just throwing out what people say. I'm a branding expert. I'm a graphic designer. I am a branding strategist. What makes a creative architect?
Man, I build brands. I build, like, it's literally from ground up. Today I had a consultation with the company who was launching a product line, and they have already kind of been around for a couple of years, and they have their logo. They've got some things in place, but I actually went through and deconstructed what they had so they could really see what their foundation looked like, and then I show them exactly how I'm going to rebuild what they've put in place and how I'm going to make it stronger. So that's really what an architect does. We are creative architects, or I am a creative architect.
So you basically told them this is not going to work, but I can get you to the end of what needs to happen.
I want to make them strong. You want to put your best foot forward. So I say, what? Before we start even talking about launching, let's rewind. Let's pull up the blueprint and see exactly what your brand looks like, so that we can build the right thing and have a solid foundation.
Now that's what I'm talking about. And that's what a creative architect does. Trust me. Absolutely. With the blueprint, so we can build a house.
Absolutely.
Now. So I see this amazing wall behind you. Who are some of the some of the people that you've had an opportunity to work with as a creative architect?
Man, God is so good. When I first started creating, my first major client was Daryl Coley. I don't know if you're familiar with the male, one of the best male vocalists of all time.
Oh yeah, Sovereign. I'm familiar. Sovereign.
So yeah, if you go on iTunes and you look up, Daryl Coley, you look up Lettucey, Anita Wilson, Tamar Braxton, Javon Inman, Ted Wynn, there's Avery Sunshine. The list goes on.
Avery.
Erica Campbell, Ron Campbell. God has been really, really good to the business. I've had the pleasure of creating with some of my favorite vocalists and artists. Yeah.
I love it, man. I like you. You've worked with like the people. Like, I mean, okay, let's talk about Lettucey for a moment. Like, okay, Lettucey, like, who even gets to rub elbows with her? But you're a creative architect, working in the midst behind with her. Rose said, "What up, brother?"
What's up?
This is amazing, man. Oh, he's one of your clients too. Go ahead, good Bishop. I want to say, think about some of the clients that you've worked with. What would you say has been your proudest moment as a creative architect? So as this creative architect that God has blessed with so many opportunities to work with so many people, what do you think, if you can't even think of one, to be your proudest moment?
It's definitely hard to narrow it down, but I would say the first one that comes to mind is working with Bernice King and the King Center. We created a T-shirt in honor of King that was actually worn by Dr. King, Bernice King, at the Super Bowl. So to see my art, actually on the biggest stage in the world was, mind blowing. It still seems, when I look back at it, like, wow, guy, you strong on that one.
God said, he said, let me blow your mind real quick.
Yeah,
I love it, man. So, working with these people, I'm pretty sure you have had your journey through social media with many of them, that helps kind of define this topic here. So I want to talk about for a minute social media, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when we talk about social media, the good side, the bad side, and the ugly side, as a creative architect, what kind of knowledge can you share as it relates to the good, the bad, and the ugly?
The good, the bad, and the ugly. I say people have to be mindful that, like, when you're on social media, it's the World Wide Web. It's not just your community. It's not just your network. It's not just your city or your state. What you post is to the world, and it's out there forever. There's no unwinding the, so once it's out there. So I would say, being mindful about how you are presenting yourself, what you're saying, and being conscious about who that might affect or who might see it. Like, don't ever think that you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
Right.
And I found that to be true for myself. I've done a post about Beyonce, and next thing I know, Niecy Nash is reposting it, and like movie directors are reposting, and it's going viral. And I'm saying, oh God, like, thank God this was good, and I wasn't posting any type of foolishness that could, be a bad reflection on me. So I think people got to be really conscious about what they post. You just never know who's watching. You want to be mindful and be thoughtful. Ask yourself some questions. Is it kind? Is it nice? Is it true? Is it relevant? Do I need to say this? Because you never know what bad could turn out, to haunt you for years to come.
Right.
Especially even if you're a professional, like if you're working in the school districts and you work with children, you don't want something to come back and haunt you, like, oh man, I shouldn't have posted myself having that cocktail, turning up during work hours or whatever. Be thoughtful. Be thoughtful. Someone's always watching.
Someone's always watching, definitely, for sure. I like that. And as I work in a high school with high school students, I am constantly attempting to remind them of what they post, of the fact that cyberbullying is real, of the fact that the moment you post that, that can determine how you maneuver through the hallways or through your social circles within the building or even outside the building. So it's so important that I feel people understand the good, the bad, and the ugly side of social media because it's real. I hate to say it, but we are about to have the iPhone 12 in a month. It's about to hit the airways. So think about this thing. 12 years ago, there wasn't even a thing called the iPhone. So social media wasn't even as big 12 years ago as it is now. Think about it. I think about when I was in college. Social media was strictly like Facebook, College Club, those types of things. It wasn't as magnified as it is now. So you can't hide under a lens anymore because once you post it, it's out there. You can go back and you can delete it, but trust and believe somebody got the screenshot or the screen video.
Yeah.
Or the screen video.
Post like your comments too. What you're commenting in response to somebody, people reading all that.
And it's funny because I'm gonna say it takes me to my next question, which is what do you think is the most powerful form of social media? So let's tackle that one first. What do you think, as a creative architect and all the people that you've worked with as clients, is the most powerful form of social media? And then I'll come back to the next question.
I'm gonna go with the main social platforms of like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, especially Twitter right now. You're seeing the president on there. And he has shifted from what, we've never known the president to tweet as much as 45 has. Like, I mean,
that's all he does.
Yeah, he says whatever the heck comes to his mind, no filter, no regrets. He's saying it. So when you're looking at Twitter right now, it's like that's the go-to place for on the spot information, especially when it comes to our political climate right now. That's
and it's crazy because our country wouldn't be in such disarray if you didn't spend as much time tweeting as you actually spent handling the business of what needs to happen. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and you're tweeting versus trying to find a vaccine. You're tweeting foolishness and spewing hate in so many different forms, thinking that it's empowering, and it's not. Which takes me to the next question of why do you think the impact of social media is so powerful? Like, why do you think it's so powerful in this day and time?
When you're looking at this generation of say when my parents were growing up, it was the news. Like my dad sat in front of CNN, and that was how he stayed up to date. And then there was 10-10 Wins on the radio when you're driving in the car. 10-10 Wins always give you the updated news that what was happening in the world, And then you got, your CBS News, your evening news. Those were the go-to places for up-to-date information. Now, this generation has everything right at their fingertips. You're getting an alert on your phone by CNN, by TMZ, by CBS or whomever is tweeting or posting or has you connected, you're subscribing to. So that right there in itself is like it's automatic gratification is what people want these days. They don't want to wait for things to be filtered through and to be researched. We're automatically like fiending for what's the next hot topic, and it's right at your fingertips. We have my nieces and nephews now. We had a family reunion, if you will, via Zoom, and we had 3 generations of family on this Zoom call. And to think, like back in the day, I wasn't going to see my family unless we drove from Cali to Mississippi to Georgia. That was how we got a chance to match faces with names. But now everything, thanks to the World Wide Web, to the internet, everything is literally right at our fingertips and it's accessible. So like social media, that's why it's so strong, because it's easy gratification. We don't have to wait. We don't have to filter through. We can say what we want to say and disperse it to the world.
Just right. Like and it's crazy because you brought up a good point about the family reunion. You had the drive to the family reunion to see your cousins so that you wouldn't end up marrying your cousins later on down the line, as my grandma never said. I want you to know who your cousins are. No, you know who your cousins are face to face, so you're gonna end up liking, end up marrying them one day. And now we got this whole Zoom thing where you can actually see who your cousins are, so that does not happen.
And now we got Ancestry.com that's telling you who's who, so you got the family tree right there.
Listen, your ancestry, your DNA.com, who did I do? I did the green one. Oh God, what's the green one called? It's Ancestry, and it's God, who is it? It started with an A. No, it's Ancestry. I think it's like Modern DNA or something. Somebody tell me what the DNA web companies are. I did one of them, and I'm like,
let me find out.
Like let me find out who I really am, so I can, Oh, Stefan said 23andMe. I forgot about that one. That's another one that you can get on 23andMe. I mean, there are so many different ways to
wisdom panel. I'm googling like, okay, yeah, I do see 23andMe.
Okay, I'm right. The green one is Ancestry. I did Ancestry, but it's another one that's out there as well that I can't remember. It's like I'm gonna remember and put it in the chat. I'll remember when it comes back. But yeah, it's crazy because there are just so many different ways that social media can bring you together. And then even with the DNA piece, it'll tell you once you get your results, who just cut. You got a cousin over here and there, and then with the power of social media, they'll get to looking you up on Facebook or Instagram or some way, just trying to connect.
True story. I got a phone call one day on Facebook from a lady named Jenny in Germany. And Jenny says, I got a ping that said, you're either my first cousin or brother. I said, well, I don't think my daddy been to Germany. I don't think we related. But my uncle was stationed in Germany back in like 1960 something. She said, well, that's got to be it. So sure enough, I was like, she thought she was the only child. I said, good news is you got 14 brothers and sisters over here in the States. You're my first cousin. So she's flown here to the States. We've connected all through Ancestry and Facebook. She connected with us on Facebook. My cousin Jenny. Shout out to Jenny if you're watching in Germany. I love you, cuz.
What's cousin name?
Jenny.
Hey, cousin Jenny, we love you over here. Cause she your cousin. That means she my cousin somewhere down the line too. Yeah. Shout out to cousin Jenny. Shoot. And it takes me back to the topic tonight, the power of social media. She reached out to you through Facebook. Like, people don't understand how powerful this thing is. Like, I actually have to find myself when I'm on Facebook, because there's a whole nother inbox I didn't know about. I just found out. There's a whole nother inbox that I have messages waiting in that people have sent me messages and I had no idea they were there, because I guess the way Facebook is set up, the messenger filters through. So I guess if you don't have a mutual friend with someone, they don't feel privy enough to send that to your actual inbox. So there's a whole nother message box out there for anybody that doesn't know. There's a whole other message box out there that you probably have messages just sitting in. Now, of course, some of them are like, nice. Where you from? Sometimes it's like kind of like a DM type thing. But some of them actually have good messages in them that are meaningful that you may want to do some research in. So bypass the hey, how you doing? Nice picture type and filter through and see which one you may actually need to tap into.
Some value in there. Might be missing some value in business.
Hey, Pastor Sammy, this is great. Thank you for joining, Pastor Sammy. Pastor Sammy is in the building joining us too, man. Okay, I'm nervous. Pastor Sammy. So, we're talking about the power of social media.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of go through the back door and come up the long way, if I can, to talk about what's your take on social media leaving people powerless? So we talk about the power of it, but there have been some instances in the media, even more so recently, where people social media has left them powerless. So what's your take on social media just not even empowering someone, but it leaves them like, it's so draining to the point where I don't have any power. I'm so drained. I'm over it. I want to just leave it alone. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, you have to find a happy. man, when it comes to social media, because if you let it consume you, it will. You know, there's so much that's happening. Like in the morning when I wake up and I go on Facebook and I go to my news feeds and I'm scrolling, like we're in such a heavy emotional period right now from all perspectives, from a political perspective to families and mourning, and it will definitely like suck the life out of you. Not
It will. It definitely will.
A space where you can kind of pace yourself, if you will, and become an observer and not an absorber. Saw that the other day on Facebook. I said, "Oh, that's real good. I gotta practice not absorbing what social media is putting out there, but just kind of observe what's going on, because it'll definitely pull in, and you have to set like boundaries around. Okay, I'm not going to be on social media. I'm going to limit myself to 10 minutes of social media today. Or I might just say, hey, you know what? I'm taking a sabbatical from social media. I need to detox. And so it doesn't completely drain you and you've lost all your power. You want to be able to come there and with a presence to state your, speak your voice, use your voice, and to engage with friends and family and loved ones. But, there's like those trolls out there that waiting at the bit to kind of jump on board and like argue with you, like don't give them your power, protect your energy, set those boundaries. Okay, I'm not gonna even respond to this, or I'm gonna restrict this person, I'll block this person, do what you got to do so that it's not completely draining you.
That's my motto. Be blocked and be blessed. That's my motto.
God bless you as you do.
I don't have a problem blocking people at all. Be blocked and be blessed and going on about your business. And it's funny you say that because the trolls are real. The trolls are real out there, and it's crazy because if you're not in the right mindset, responding to them makes you powerless. So giving them the rise out of you, it's what takes away your power. That's exactly what they want. So I even find myself just if I make a post and someone makes a comment under it and it kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I'm like, okay, Calvin, how are you going to respond in this moment? I want to go in. Trust. I want hashtag I want to go in. But something gets me, and I'm convicted where I'm like, okay, I don't know what that person is going through now. Now they don't know what I'm going through either. But my words, what Karen Clark say, my words have power. I know how much power I got, and I don't want to hurt nobody for real. So let me just don't even respond and just let them be blocked and be blessed and go ahead and go about my business. I also wanted to talk about from that perspective. We talked about the power. You made a comment of taking a sabbatical, and a lot of times we think that, or some of us think that taking a sabbatical, or let me go back. Let me do it for the fasting. So we grew up in the church. You fast, you don't eat. Sometimes I have to fast from social media. Sometimes social media is my is a vice for me, and I have to just deactivate. I have to detach. I have to take the app off my phone so I'm not tempted. If I'm going through something and I'm waiting on a download of some creative process from on high, I need to just detach myself from it. So I find myself detaching from social media, because think about it, a lot of us, what's the first thing we do in the morning? We say we pray, and I'm being honest. First thing I do in the morning, roll over. What I missed last night. Let me see what happened on Instagram. Let me see what happened. Let me see what happened on Facebook. Let me see what happened on Twitter. We spend so much time, and with that being the first thing that we do, and it just becomes a habit that we forget to make that morning connection. Thank you for waking me up this morning, because you didn't have to. Somebody didn't. So I find myself in situations like that where social media can leave you powerless. It can put you in a place where you think everything is going right, and this is your crutch, where you will find yourself spiraling out of control because I got to be the first to like something. I got to be the first to come. People kill me. Somebody make a post and they got to put first, or they got to put first comment. Like, what do you get out of being the first to comment up under somebody's post? And you can be blocked and be blessed too. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Don't look at the first thing you're doing in the morning. Like feed yourself some breakfast and some spiritual vitamins before you go into your news feed. Like, don't let that be for you, for sure.
And it's funny because you gotta pace yourself, and you have to be cognizant of what you're thinking about posting. So I find myself a lot of times thinking, let me think about this before I post it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my social media is a little different. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest,
you got some good stuff on there.
I'm gonna put my, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram tag is @IamDocVerde. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you follow me, you're gonna get some I love Jesus, because I do love him. You're gonna get a laugh in the middle of the day. I feel like life is not great if you don't laugh. So I find myself posting stuff that's funny to me. It may not be funny to you, but it's my page. And it's funny to me. And if you get a laugh out of it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But I am cognizant of what I post. And but I just like to laugh. I love Jesus. I love to laugh. My friends will call me sometimes a ratchet doctor because they don't find stuff funny. And I'm from the hood. I'm from Oak Cliff, Texas. I like crazy stuff. Like, that's just me. So yeah, that's just me. And it keeps me back.
It's good like medicine.
It keeps me human. I'm not gonna lie. One of my former students is on here, Ashley. She said, "Preach." I'm not playing with her. I'm not preaching. I'm talking. She was in the very first class of students I taught at Patapsco High School in Baltimore County. Now, I wasn't into social media like that until I started working in a high school. They were in my class one day talking about Flavor of Love. I never forget, it was Flavor of Love. So the students were talking about, Flavor of Love, and talking about the episode or whatever. And honestly, JP, I was lost. I didn't know what they were talking about. Like, Flavor Flav on the TV show, like, what is he doing with a show? And I ain't got one. Okay, but I'm looking at it from that perspective. They're talking about a show. I don't know. And I'm in a high school, so I got to be like, I want to be down. Like, I want to be able to engage with them because I want to be like the cool teacher. So I went home and I started watching reality TV because of my students. So I started watching like the reality shows on VH1, just to be able to, kind of throw a curveball one day when they're talking about something, and I'm able to chime in like, yeah, did you see so and so? Yes, I love New York type stuff. So, and it was funny because when I made the comment that they were like, "Green, you watch that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They were like, "Oh, Green, you like, oh, I'm a cool teacher now because I watch what they watch." But I just wanted to be with the cool kids. I wanted to be able to have a conversation. But the first thing I did was to go to social media to see what the show was about before I watched it. So I was able to go to the website. Okay, let me see what this show is about. The networks will have a whole page dedicated to the actual show that you can find out who the cast is, what the plot line is, stuff like that. So it brought me into this social media sphere of being able to communicate with my kids much better because I wanted to be down. Leslie said my page be hot. Leslie, I'm gonna call my page down.
Let me go over there with some holy water on your page.
Right, come on, sprinkle some stuff on it for me. Sprinkle some stuff on it for me, brother. Let me see. Where am I at now? Okay, so you work with all these amazing people. You also have your own brand. You also have your own business. You're doing a whole bunch of different stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit, which can be overwhelming at times. So my question to you is, because of all of that, have you ever had that moment when you wanted to just cut off all social media ties forever because it was so overwhelming, managing 3 and 4 pages and working with these clients who need these things to be uploaded to their pages and things like that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You got to do everything in moderation. And managing some social media accounts at one time, I don't do that anymore. That was like pushing me over the edge, because then on top of that, I got, you know, notifications coming through for Jacob Designs Art, and then my personal page and the other business pages. So just like outsourcing some of that, like if you have somebody that you're able to hire for social media management, Seller Solutions is me. That's who I use. They manage some of my accounts, as well as for my clients. Yeah, to be able to pull back, you know, seeing a lot of what is like smoke and mirrors on social media can become frustrating too. Like if you see somebody who's painting the picture like they, you know, they're living the life of the rich and famous, but you know what, like the truth is, it's like, okay, come on, like how long are we gonna keep this like smoke and mirror charade going? So sometimes it's like, okay, you know, I can't even look at this today. They post one more video. Like, come on, like can your life be as wonderful as you post it to be?
Right.
You know, like that's
come on, Edgy.
as you post it to be. That's really what we have to like do, is just be authentic and tell your story from a place of sincerity and truth, so that you're able to consistently like live out on and offline, you know. So yeah, sometimes I have to pull back from that and just that mental space of peace, like to protect my peace. I'll shut the phone off in a heartbeat. I'll delete the apps off my phone for a few days and like just pull out and say, okay, you know, I'm gonna just read a book, or I'll watch Netflix. Let me do some meditation. Let me go ride my bike and hit read. Like that's probably the best, my favorite part. Like hopping on the bike, going to the park. Just because it'll consume you if you let it. Social media is what you make it to be, you know. So if you're looking for it to be your all in all, it'll become that. But if you're looking to use it as a tool and a place of like meet up for friends and family to connect and keep in touch and check in on your strong friends and, you know, encourage somebody, then it'll become that. But you got to make sure, you know, you're going in there with that mindset of, okay, this is my expectation. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm putting in. This is what I expect to get back. Some people look for love. Some people are looking at it for, you know, a place of comfort and security. And when that backfires on you, like, oh man, you're like, you know, haywiring over there. You're short circuiting. So you really got to go in with that expectation and that mindset of, okay, I'm going to make this what it is, and that's it, period. When I'm off, I'm off. When I'm on, I'm on. I got friends that I think are on all the time. And I'm like, hey, did you hear, you know, so-and-so passed? She's like, did she? You know, I'm there to post. I don't ever scroll. I just go in there, I put my post up, and then I'm logging right back out. Did it cut out for a second there?
It's back. You good.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but like some people just go on there to post and they're not engaging, they're not scrolling, they're not liking. You know, it is what you make it out to be.
You know, so some people, you know, just they get their moment from so you become enamored with this social media personality or this social media person. You finally run into them, you take a picture with them, and it's just you using it just to post. I met this person, I want to say happy birthday to them and tag them in a picture. You know, it's just some people, that's what they use it for. Other people, like you said, post a one little post and log off. You have some people that just scroll all day long. They like here, they don't like there. They, you know, it's whatever benefit you get from it.
It's only on Instagram. You know, like you've got your entire runway. You film yourself, photograph yourself. You post, you're retouching, flawless on Instagram. You meet them in person, you're like, wait, that was a weave. Oh wait, that wasn't your real. Oh wait, like, you know, like people like are just creating these entire new person. Kudos to them for those who do and make it work, and they're building their like empire off there. I applaud you. I got friends that are influencers that are like making bank, and that's their source of income. More power to you. Like, I applaud you for real. I'm not gonna knock the hustle, but for those who are really living authentically, I appreciate that just the same.
So it's funny you talk about. It's funny that you just talked about living authentically, because I want to take it back to how you and I connected. So I've been following you for years. I've always been a fan of your work. I've seen how you've just we talk about the power of social media, how you have used social media in so many different platforms and avenues, not just for yourself, but for your clients. And so I had an awesome opportunity, not even knowing I would have it, about a year and a half ago, to meet you in person randomly. I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, man, everything that you stand for on social media, the integrity, the character, the persistence, the grind, all of that was exuded. And when I met you personally, that put the icing on the cake for me. Like, I really appreciate you, man, because when you it's like you said, you connect with people and you don't know what's real and what's not real. But when I was able to see you in person and saw your grind, I actually saw you grinding at that moment. I think you were setting up. You were working. You were in work mode. You were like June. I was like I was like, the grind is so real, and this is the part that social media doesn't show. This is the part that people forget to show. So I just appreciate you for even being your authentic self. You just like me. We workaholics. This is who we are. This is what we do. We're always grinding, trying to make things happen, and that's just and I hope and pray, just like when I met you, that when people meet me in person, they're like, that boy's a fool, but he real as well. So I just appreciate that.
Yeah, bro, you've been consistent from day one, just a light. Like, you still just beaming, positive vibes, good vibes, always.
I appreciate you, man. So listen, we're talking about
almost birthday twin.
Almost birthday twin, yo. Like, okay, another quick short story. So Justin and I's birthdays are like right there. You're
February 25th.
What day? He's February 25th and I'm February 26th. So we're almost like birthday twins for real. Like, Pisces in the house. This is what we do. Yeah, we out here grinding, trying to make it happen. And we hope that you guys are enjoying this conversation on tonight. But I want to talk about one last thing as it relates to the power of social media. You recently launched something on social media, and I want to talk about that because that was another reason why I wanted to have you on tonight. So give me 1 second. I want to see if I can do this. Hold on. I'm still trying to work this thing out. So give me a second, brother. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. All right, here
what you got?
I'm trying, man. Okay, can you see that?
Oh snap! Come on.
So tell everybody. Well, let me let them get into these visuals first, brother. And then we gonna jump into it. They probably can't hear because I haven't got the audio thing going as of yet, but they can get the gist of it.
Yeah,
because this is just so powerful, man. And the people in the video are saying, "Love all you can while you can. Love all you can while you can." I'm so in love with this whole concept and this whole movement, man. And this website is bomb. Also, like the way you just did this, it's just so amazing. I just appreciate you for doing it. I'm gonna change my screen back real quick, and I want you to just share with us. Let me change my screen to the next one. Bam! Love all you can while you can. Tell us about this love all you can while you can movement. What started it? What's the purpose behind it? How's it going so far? How can we influence it and help with it on social media as well? So go ahead. It's all on you.
I'm up at Romain right now because he's nuts. Are you glad you found the right video?
You say what, brother?
Romain Gibbs got me cracking up in the comments. Did you see him?
You know what? Pray. I'm gonna fight him. Yep.
I'm praying harder. I thought I was praying before. I gotta pray harder. But oh man, love all you can while you can. It has been like a mantra of mine, really, since my father passed, even shortly before he passed, going back to 2010. Uh, he called me one day out the blue. It was an evening. I had just gotten home from work. I was living in Jersey, and he called me and he said, son, you go all over the world, but you haven't come to see your father. And I was just home like in June. I think that was in August. And I was like, well, Dad, I'll come home, just say word. And that was really out of his character to say come home, because he was like super old school and would say, stay home, save your money, don't be traveling. And I got on the flight the next day to go see my dad, and we spent the day together, chatting it up, cracking up, just having a good time, creating those memories. And I went back to Jersey, went back to the grind. And that was actually the last time I saw my father alive. It was August 8th, 2010. He passed several weeks later. And I look back at a picture that we took. It had just popped up in my memories, on my Facebook memories. And I put in that caption, love all you can while you can. And from that time in 2010, it's just been something that I have continued to say and put into action, and it's become like a mantra amongst my friends and my family. Anytime somebody would pass, it's like, love all you can while you can. Are you going the extra mile for somebody? Love all you can while you can. And then it turned into my birthday. My friends threw me a surprise party, and that was the theme. Love all you can while you can. I was like, wow, I guess this has really become my mark, if you will. Like I need to make sure like I expound on this some more and share it with the world. I can't just wait for my friends, to do it and my family to do it amongst ourselves. So around the time that George Floyd was killed, it struck a chord in me that, okay, you know what, I can't sit on love all you can while you can no more, because tomorrow's not promised to any of us. His family didn't know that he wasn't coming home that day. And it's the same for all of those, that from Breonna Taylor to Ahmaud Arbery. There's so many different, the laundry list of names of loved ones that have literally been snatched away from us without warning. And it's just a reminder to love all we can while we can. And so during like the spike of the social justice movement recently, we launched it and we started creating protest signs, and we were love to the demonstrators on the front line, printing over 1,000 signs and taking them to different protests throughout the city. People were donating money for us to print signs, and we're just giving them away. And then we launched the actual product of the t-shirts with the wristbands and the love box and the love challenge. And so what is happening now is it's really a message that our goal is to just spread it around the world for people to share love and to take action now, because life is fragile and we don't know when tomorrow's promised. So at least let me have some type of token of love or expression of love to remind somebody that we love them. So when you go on loveallyoucanwhileyoucan.com, you can purchase a love box, and that love box has the t-shirt, a wristband, a button. Hey, you got yours. You got a couple of them. Thank you, brother, for supporting. So awesome.
I got my love box.
It means the world to me to see like friends and family opening up these love boxes online and just these unboxing videos. But when you purchase a box, you get to gift a box to someone that you love. So we package it up just the same, wrap it up really nice. I've designed the box. I've designed the wrapping paper. Every detail of this box has some love in it. And in the box, the main piece is the love challenge card. And that love challenge card is a encouragement for you to express love to yourself. So there's a self-love challenge. And then there's a give love challenge where you have to express love to somebody else. And that might be, your self-love might be writing down 3 things that you love about you. And then the give love might be call a friend that you haven't spoken to in months and tell them that you love them and something you're proud of them. And so it's really been growing. God has been blessing. We've got billboards throughout the city of Atlanta, 8 boards. And we have a contest now where when you get the t-shirt and you put it on, take a creative photo, and we're going to pick the most creative photo. We're going to put it on a billboard in a city near you. So I'm excited about that. We're going to launch that at the end of this month.
I love it.
August 25th. So yeah, love all you can while you can. It's been a blessing to really see just people loving, like even my white friends who had been like real quiet during the social justice movement. And kind of concerned, like, silence gives consent. So, like, are y'all cool with them just killing Black lives? The Black Lives Matter? And no sooner than I started talking about love, that's when, like, they were coming up the woodwork. So I don't think they knew exactly how to speak to me, or if I was mad at them or whatever it might have been. But that love just connects us all. It's the one thing that that one language that everybody can speak. And it's really brought a lot of my friends and my family together that I hadn't even heard from in years. We did our family reunion challenge, which was like the Zoom call to get all your friends and family on a Zoom call. And that was just like, I'm still getting calls from my friends and family like, man, when are we gonna do the next one? We gotta do it every month. Like, wait, like, slow down, pump your brakes. We're gonna do it once a quarter, and see how that goes. But like, I love y'all, but come on now, every month.
So I want to tell everybody on the call, on the show right now, go to loveallyoucan.com, please, and support the movement. I'm gonna tell you guys about this love box. So I did a video about this love box, and I was totally floored by the contents of it. First of all, the packaging, my brother, amazing. Like, the whole branding and packaging of this thing was so freaking dope. Like, I mean, but what do I expect? It's you. Like, it's you. It's like, what would I expect? But in this box, like he said, was a self-love card with the challenge. There's a self-love challenge and there's a give love challenge. Also in this box was the Love All You Can While You Can wristband. There was also the Love All You Can While You Can keychain. There was also the Love All You Can While You Can button. There was also the Love All You Can While You Can t-shirt. And there's something else in the box that's my favorite, which I love, is this Love All You Can While You Can mask. Man, let me tell you something. If you can't keep up with masks and stuff like that, which I have that problem, everybody's now like, whenever you go inside of a place, keep a mask in your car or whatever. I put that mask right in my car so that whenever I go somewhere and put it on, if it's in the Walgreens, if it's in CVS, if it's in the bank, wherever I go, I'm spreading love.
Yeah, man.
I'm spreading love wherever I go. So I want you guys, if you can, go to his Instagram, follow at Love All You Can While You Can. Also go to the website, show some love. He already said if you buy a love box, you're getting a love box to share with somebody else. So you're still sharing and spreading love. This is so amazing, my brother. I am so proud of you. I am so proud to be a part of the movement. You have no idea how honored I am to rep Love All You Can While You Can. There was a song years ago that said, "What the world needs now is love. Love is the only thing that is love is the common language, no matter what race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, whatever it is that you are. Love is the only thing that can and that will bind us together, that we have in common, that's universal. So let's show some love. Let's support the movement. Take your pictures. I'm gonna take mine tonight while my lighting's good, so I can send it to you. I just love everything about this movement, and I'm glad that you came on tonight for me to talk about the power of social media and how we ended the conversation with this powerful movement that's taking over social media. This thing is huge. Like, when you get billboards and stuff put up in the city of Atlanta, and let me tell y'all about my brother. My brother's so advantageous. He don't have just one billboard. How many you got? Tell the people. How many billboards you got around the city of Atlanta or the metropolitan area of Atlanta? This boy got 8 billboards. Come on. And let me tell you, these are not like the regular bulletin board. These like the LCD. What? Give me the right language of what kind of screens these are. This ain't your paper. These things are like moving with action and motion, and this didn't like put up your paper billboard outside above the freeway and you drive past it, you're not gonna see it. These things are like legit. They are like videos and LED. Like, this, brother, you're doing it.
Listen,
people doing what
your viewers own. I'm gonna give them the inside scoop.
Okay.
How I got these billboards. Because
this is exclusive.
It was always like something I wanted to have, but they say, "Oh, that's like $4,000. That's $3,000. That's $2,000." Brother, listen, I set my price at 50 cents, and I got billboards at 50 cents. And you go to blipbillboards.com. That's BLIP, billboards.com. And you can set your price on how much you want to pay for a billboard. You can pick your location. They got billboards from Canada, all across the US. And you pick your city, you pick your location, and you set your price and just follow the instructions. It's pennies on the dollar is what you're paying for billboard space. It's not, don't believe what you hear. Go and do the research for yourself.
So are we getting a Love All You Can While You Can billboard in DC soon, in the DMV area soon? I'm gonna just put that out there. Okay.
Coming. Absolutely. See, okay, God bless you, Shahinda. She said she going right now.
cousin, go right now and name your price, cousin. Go right now and name your price. I love it. Oh, LD said LD said your production, Don Lemon could never. That production of Love All You Can While You Can was amazing. I'm sorry, brother, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh, so no, my brother, my almost birthday twin brother. I am so awesomely and amazingly proud of you. I want you to continue being the light that you are, because you are a light and light attracts light. And I thank you for that. I thank you for joining me tonight on this episode of Dialogues with Doc, the Power of Social Media. I pray nothing but continued blessings and success upon you. This Love All You Can While You Can movement is so amazing. I'm so excited for it. As it continues to get momentum up under it and continues to flourish and become a national and international movement. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there because love is needed everywhere, especially in the midst of this global pandemic. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tell the people how they can follow you and keep up with you, and even reach out to you to get some business going.
Absolutely.
Because he's amazing.
Absolutely. On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at JP Designs Art. That's JPDESIGNSART. Or you can also join the movement at Love All You Can While You Can. That's on Facebook and on Instagram and .com. Love All You Can While You Can.com. I appreciate the support, the love. Thank you for having me, bro. God bless you immensely. This is just the beginning, so I'm honored to be a part.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Your mouth to God's ears, and I'm going to let him do his thing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on Dialogues with Doc. One takeaway this week is simple. The power of social media. Love all you can while you can. This is Doc Verde. I'm out, and I'll see you guys on next Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST on Facebook Live, and I'm starting a YouTube page at this very moment. I love you guys. See you next week. Thanks, bro.
Love you, bro. Peace.
Love you. Peace.